Week number 9 of Monday Night Madness brings us to the Williams Grove Speedway in Pennsylvania. It's the Monday night after the Knoxville Nationals week as Extreme eSpeed TV and the Coast to Coast Racing League present another edition of Monday Night Madness. Monday Night Madness is brought to you by our good friends at the Osh Weekend Speedway. It's a Rebel showdown here as we begin tonight here, brought to you by our friends at Langdon Mechanical. And it's so glad, as always, for you to have us, to join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you alongside Brandon Dittmer. I just got back about, probably 17 hours ago from Iowa. Brandon's been obviously in Iowa for many, many years. So, there we go. Now we got the other light working. But Brandon, first off, before we talk about the racing, what'd you think about Knoxville?
Knoxville is always amazing, especially around the Knoxville Nationals. I think with this new tire stuff that they've been doing this year, that really changed how the feature ended up playing out, but overall it was a great race.
Absolutely. But let's talk about the Rebels side of things, and Rebels points are very close. Our statistician Patrick Spangler has calculated the points as of now with the drops. It's a three-way battle for this championship at the moment between Jeff Kemper, Cody Graham, and Gary Offut.
I got to pull this up for myself to actually look at it. But no, that's been a great battle all season long, especially with these Rebels. Yeah, you weren't kidding. That is a close battle. I think Kemper's been really solid this year. Fortunately, no wins. Yeah, no wins for any of the top three. But just consistency is key here, and that's what they got.
But anyway, we're just about set to go for a Monday night edition of Sprint Car Action on the Coast to Coast Racing League. GT3s at Knock Hill, GT3s at some track will be taking place here tonight. GT3s, I believe, are at Imola, and they are at Imola here tonight. So, but anyway, we now get set to go for heat race number 1, brought to you by our friends at Flatline Racing Bodies. Cars are rolling here around the track in Pennsylvania. Here's a look at your starting lineup. On the pole position, it's Mike Cranmer in car number 70. He's next to the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry, in car number 21. Row number 2, Jeff Kemper in the 181, next to Steve Maurer in the 888. And rounding out the field, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, in that 83 with my face on it. And next to him, in the number 4, trying to make sure I remember this name, or if not, he's making his debut with us on another Monday Night Madness. That is Daniel Vaught in car number 4, who is hailing out of the Mid-South region. One lap to go until we take the green flag here. While we are as we get set to go racing here, let us know who you're rooting for. The chat will give you a shout out live and on the air. Marty Scala alongside Brandon Dittmer with you. Dittmer, good luck in your heat.
Thank you.
Put him on mute just briefly here. Zach Chapman may be joining us in just a little bit. Dean Reynolds at Summerfast in Brewerton, and Isaac Salas probably has the Knoxville Nationals hangover at the moment. Who knows? But getting set to go for heat race number 1, winner on pole for tonight's feature in the Rebels, underway here at Williams Grove Speedway. Fry around the outside, takes the race lead early. Oh, look out! Fry, Maurer, and Cranmer. And through to the point goes Jeff Kemper in the 181. Well, we're off to a wild start, that's for sure. As Kemper has the lead, Dittmer second, Daniel Vaught in his first start. Currently in the 3rd position, gap between 1st and 2nd, just about a half second. Well, let's get a quick look and show you what happened. That's off of slow motion. It was between the front row, just at the green flag. Your top 3 as a whole. Fry with a lot of yaw. Just came down into the 70 in a heavy collision for the driver of the number 21. So that's how that went down. Kemper, though, in the running for the championship with the Rebels this season. Just came out the fastest lap last time by 18.14, that time by 18.22. Kept that gap consistent. Without the drops coming on in, Jeff Kemper with a 23-point advantage over Joe Musso. 3 to go here. Everyone will make the show this evening from what we calculated. Hello to Tyler Wilson rooting for Brandon Dittmer, currently in second, but Dittmer just 1 second behind on the driver of the number 181. 2 laps to go in our opening heat. Vaught running third. Steve Maurer currently fourth. Mike Cranmer rounds out the top 5. Kemper about to put a lap on the driver of the Pitside Podcast number 70 machine. White flag is out. 1 to go here in heat race number 1. And through turns of number 3 and 4, Kemper picks up the heat win, followed by Dittmer, Vaught, Maurer, and then Mike Cranmer and Kevin Fry. So, Brandon, what happened there in the start of that one?
First and second kind of got together, it looked like, and everybody else just kind of had nowhere to go. I didn't think I squeezed by it in time, but I just got above, I believe it was Cranmer, and luckily made it through.
So we move on to heat race number 2. That's brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Here's how they line up. On the pole, Cody Graham in car number 2. Next to the 63 of the Moose, Joe Musso. Row number 2, it's the 5 of John Krupa. And next to him, the Ripper, Lance Ripka in car number 125. Rounding out the field in row number 3, that's G.J. Boydell in the 014. Next to him is Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218. So winner starts next to Jeff Kemper on the front row here tonight. So, Brandon, who's your one to watch out for here in this heat race?
My one to watch out for. Probably Lance Ripka, I'd have to say, coming outside that second row.
Definitely should be a threat. I'd keep my eye out on Kurt Schatzer, past Rebels champion. He's in the back on this one, so we'll see what goes down. So Cody Graham, Joe Musso set to bring us to green here. And we are ready to go racing. Heat 2 underway. Everyone still wing to wing down the back straight. As Graham looks for the race lead, doesn't consider throwing the slider. Krupa, though, up the track. He steals third away from Lance Ripka. Lap 1, though, led by the 63 of Joe Musso. Good start, though, from this Moose clan at the moment with Musso, Graham, and Krupa, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely. They were running that top side really nicely. You got to watch out there in turns 1 and 2. There was like a tabletop there and kind of like the middle of the corner on up, so it's kind of a letdown. But he's working it really good now.
Take you right on board here with Lance Ripka as he tries to fight back on that third position. Just tries to follow that Oswego green and gold number 5, but a race for the lead. Cody Graham challenges down low. Can he get the draft in the turn 1? We'll see what happens though. But still Musso out in front though. Brandon last time by, Graham put up the fastest lap of the day.
Yeah, Graham is right on him, and he's really working at it to try to get to him, but catching him and passing him is two different things, as they always say. And here it's going to be especially hard to pass.
This time by Musso, had the quickest lap. An 18.18. It's we're halfway home through heat race number 2. Musso, Graham, Krupa, Schatzer, Ripka, Boydell. That's how the field looks. This is a wild mess here for the 4th position, and Corey Schatzer just took it away from Ripka. Here he goes as Schatzer throws the slider on Krupa. Can he get third off in turn 2? Maybe not just yet. Krupa counters it back. Boydell may have something for that 5th position on Ripka. Oh, they touch both of them in the wall and hook. They keep it straight. 2 to go in this heat race. Best battle still Krupa and Schatzer for 3rd, Brandon.
They're really going at it, and I'm loving every second of it. I love a good hard battle for a position, and these guys are making fun to watch.
White flag is out, though. 1 lap to go. The race for the lead still not over yet between Joe Musso and Cody Graham. So the field makes their way off at turn number 2. Remember, the two drivers also in the hunt for the championship, especially Graham without drops. Couple points behind. Off at turn number 4, though. Joe Musso wins heat race number 2. Cody Graham, John Krupa, Kurt Schatzer, G.J. Boydell, and Lance Ripka. And so that will do it for our heat races warm-up. Coming up next here, stay with us, ladies and gents, on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups in the books here at the Williams Grove Speedway. G.J. Boydell, quickest, and 18:38. Well, it's that time once again. Ready for our 30-lap feature in the Rebels. Let's meet the field, ladies and gentlemen, in the catalytic recovery starting lineup. On the front row, it's the Jeff Kemper in the 181 next to Joe Musso in the 63. Row number 2, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83, and Cody Graham in the 2. Row number 3, Daniel Vaught in the 4 next to John Krupa in car number 5. Row number 4, it's Steve Maurer, the Chevy Man in the 888 next to Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Row number 5, Mike Cranmer in the 70 next to G.J. Boydell in the 014. Rounding out the field, Kevin Fry in the 21, and the Ripper Lance Ripka in the 125. Alrighty, with that being said, we are just about ready to roll the field off for 2 pace laps here at Williams Grove Speedway. You know, while we are at it, actually, Roger Craig has actually joined us in the booth. I'm pretty sure he still has the Discord on. Yes, he does. Roger, who do you think's going to win it tonight?
I just got in here, so I haven't had a chance to look. I know it's a real tight race for the lead, so let me look at it, and I'll get back to you.
Oh, you know he's going to make it.
Never mind. We'll make it easy. Brandon Dittmer. I'm going with Brandon.
Uh-oh, Dittmer, you just got cursed.
Ralph Dittmer. Sorry, I meant Ralph Dittmer.
Give me the 63 of Joe Musso. Let the moose loose. So, Dittmer, obviously you're driving, so I know who you're picking to win.
That's right, Kemper.
So, alrighty, man. Best of luck.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, Roger's gonna join me in this booth here. He'll call the race with me, but he actually joined so we could talk the Knoxville Nationals during intermission here. So, Steve King Foundation Pace Truck received an $1,800 check for the Knoxville Nationals last week. The truck makes the left-hand turn to pit road, ready for the Lucy Olson start. It's a good one. Jeff Kemper, Joe Musso, bring us to the green. We're ready to wave them off here with the Lucy Olson start. First feature of the night underway. Double file off at turn number 2 as Musso and Dittmer are currently door-to-door, wing-to-wing for the second spot. Off the corner, Kemper leads lap number 1, nearly 3 wide. Graham falls back to 4th. Ripka and Cranmer have spun in turn 4, but they're in the back of the field, so we stay under the green flag. Can Ripka get it straight, though? Yes, he can, but the field is going to come down their throats big time, Roger, as he wasted a lot of time in that situation.
Yeah, you have to pardon me, Martin. I'm still trying to get set up here.
I got you, no worries. 4-car race, meanwhile, for the second spot. Dittmer tries to run away with it. Cody Graham in the 3rd position, underneath for 2nd. Kevin Fry and Joe Musso are Hoosier to Hoosier for the 4th spot, and Fry and Musso nearly tangle. Graham thinking about a possible slider. He went up the track. Kevin Fry looks to go 3 wide. The low line's what helped the Flying Fry win an outdoor last week, but he got really squirrely in corner entry. He had to yank it to the right, and the reason why is because he was about to hit that inside Jersey barrier. And so because of that, that put him all the way back down to the 5th position. New quickest guy, meanwhile, on the track in that red and orange 014, G.J. Boydell with an 1866. That's the quickest driver on track right now at the moment. But it's still Jeff Kemper out in front, 5 laps complete, 3/4 of a second delta on Cody Graham. Joe Musso, Kevin Fry, Roger, I'm not sure if you're still set up yet. They're having a fun race for the 4th position. What can Fry do on the bottom? Hold the thought, we got trouble. Krupa around, but he saves it. We stay green. As I was saying here, Roger, Fry's trying to get the bottom rolling and working, but it's very risky to do as he gets sideways once again. See a cushion. Big cushion here at the moment for the drivers to utilize. As Kemper now has increased the lead on Cody Graham to 1 second. Field could be working on lap traffic in just a bit. That's Lance Ripka in the background. Here's the race for second. Meanwhile, Cody Graham against Brandon Dittmer. The Spider Monkey just came off the quickest lap of this race at an 18:42. Zero on board with them. And that low line is working well for him. Go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, it looks like Dittmer's making a move for a P2 there. Trying to get in the inside
Man,
of Graham.
just continues to send it on. And speaking of sending, Kurt Schatzer sends it in, and he takes the 4th spot away from Joe Musso. Superman, remember, started in the 8th spot here tonight, and now has made his way up into 4th. Not bad of a run so far by the 218 Schatzer Roofing VMR Wraps Dirt Track Bank Ride. But back to the race. Oh, Dimmer in the wall. He saves it though, but loses a lot of spots. I think they were approaching lap traffic, and they were in the 5 of John Krupa, who was affected the leaders big time, especially Cody Graham, as Kurt Schatzer uses lap traffic as a pack. And same with Kevin Fry through on the outside. He takes the 3rd spot away. Roger, Graham, and Dittmer are not going to be pleased with that.
No, that's for sure. Brandon was in unfamiliar territory in a way. He's been running the low line, which is not typical of Brandon.
Spider Monkey, though, tries to fight it back. Nearly sent it into Cody Graham. Dittmer barely hits a bump. It's a 3-car race for 4th. It was a 3-car race for 2nd. Hang on, Kevin Fry's up in the wall. He saves it. It's 3 wide for the 3rd position down the back. Dittmer and Graham bang wheels halfway down the back chute. Everybody hanging on for dear life at the moment, Roger.
Yeah, it's crazy. And no caution so far. A few of these guys could use a caution just to get things tightened up again.
I think something may have just happened. We'll see what happens here as we're now in the 2nd half of this race. But it's been all Jeff Kemper so far, a 1.3 second advantage on Kurt Schatzer. Back to the Fry Dittmer race for 3rd. And they work on some lap traffic. That's Mike Cranmer in car number 70. Fry's able to get it to work here. I don't think Dittmer really wants to go side by side. However, though, Graham closes in. Cranmer nearly went up the track in front of the driver of the number 83, which got really tight as we work lap number 17. Let's talk about Kurt Schatzer here, Roger, who is off to a great start. Same with Kevin Fry. They're each up 6 and 8 spots, respectively. Do they have anything, though, for Kemper in that 181?
I was just wondering about the time gaps for Schatzer. Is he picking? It looks like he's picking up ground here.
Let's show you that time delta between 1st and 2nd, and this shows us the last 5 laps. And you see it's come down just a little bit each and every lap. Gap is now 1 second at the start-finish line. Give you a better idea off of Schatzer when we show you the lap times here. Schatzer was a 10th better last time by. Here's a look at the last 5 laps, and in 4 of the last 5, Schatzer has been the better car. He has cut it down to 3/4 of a second. Kemper, you may have some company with 11 to go. John Krupa has crashed. We go to caution flag.
We got that caution.
Yep.
It's going to make it a lot more interesting.
Absolutely. Probably a yellow as well that Schatzer definitely will take, because he will now be door to door, wing to wing with Kemper when they come back to green for this restart. Here's a look at what happened to the driver of the Oswego number 5. Just lost it all by himself, Roger.
Yeah, I noticed Ralph Dittmer's moved up to 4th, so he's still in this thing, just starting beside Fry.
Watching Krupa's on board here once again. A little bit too much rear end movement. Just some sideways there in that situation. Just saying that would not have happened if he went to Brockport. instead of going to Oswego. Would have had green and gold colors. Just saying. Just saying. So now, what are you thinking here if you're Jeff Kemper out in front here with 11 laps to go? He's probably used up a lot more tires than I believe Schatzer has possibly, and you see Schatzer is trying to gain some traction here on the right sides.
Oh yeah, this is going to make it really interesting. I think it's important he gets a jump here, and hopes Fry and Schatzer and Dittmer battle it out, and you can get a bit of a gap again.
Kevin Fry actually as well here, Roger, was the better car last time by before the caution. He ran a 19:10. That was the best lap of any driver before that caution flag flew. What are the chances he could get this lead, or maybe even possibly go back-to-back?
Yeah, I wouldn't rule any of these guys out for being able to win this thing, especially like you say with the tire wear, track. You know, we've got a low car count, but the track is still, it is wearing in, so it's going to make a difference.
So field is doubled up here for a 10-lap shootout. Kemper and Schatzer, row 1. Fry and Dittmer, row 2. Musso Graham, row 3. Maurer Boydell, row 4. Ripka and Vaught round out the top 10. It's the first Mission 22 restart of the night. We'll watch this off the Chapman Racing drone. First Gambler Yellow is in the books. Kemper ready to fire. Fry peeked his nose underneath, and Schatzer caught sleeping. Fry moves up to second on this restart. The fly too much on the outside. Schatzer on the biters. It's 3 wide for third. Dimmer gets through. He takes the bottom step on the podium, and the race for 4 between Schatzer and Graham breaks out. Dimmer, meanwhile, won second off for 4. He can't get a 9 to go. It's still Kemper, but Fry closing in.
Yeah, Shatner paid a price. He backed off in turn 2 on that restart to avoid contact, and a few of the guys got by him. Got a gap.
Fry tried to look underneath, but Kemper slammed the door right in his face. Tries to pull underneath. Here comes Dimmer, though. He got loose, though, off in turn 4. It's Hoosier to Hoosier into turn 1 with 8 to go. Slide job. Wow, that was a slider from hell by Kevin Fry. Executed perfectly, and he goes to the point. Here comes Dimmer, though, underneath for second. Coming to 7 laps to go here in PA.
And memories of the 3rd to 5th place in the Nationals. That was crazy. I see that here too.
Absolutely, and Dittmer and Kemper still racing for the runner-up spot. Kevin Fry wants to pull away because of the momentum he has, but he can't. The gap at 0.6 of a second. Dittmer has second secured with 6 laps to go, and he continues to roll on the bottom, the shorter way around the racetrack. Rupa has crashed once again. No caution. We stay under the green flag. Meanwhile, for 4th spot, Schatzer trying to rebound after what happened. Dittmer makes contact with Fry. Kevin goes sideways. He threw the elbow at him. 5 to go.
Yeah, Fry hit the wall just before that and was lost of speed and lost a bit of control. That's why Dittmer ran into him.
Oh, man, and Boydell and Graham up banging wheels off for turn number 2. It's 3 wide for that position, coming to 4 laps to go. Holy moly, this is insanity at the moment here at Williams Grove Speedway. Oh, Schatzer upside down, barrel rolling, and this is gonna change everything. All right, first off, let's show you the path for the lead here. Watch Kevin. He got the wall, which allowed Dittmer to close in. And as he tried to go up the track, I don't think he expected Kevin to be there. And then here's a look at the yellow that ended the day for Kurt Schatzer. Fry pretty much did the same thing Dittmer did, and Schatzer paid a bigger price. Right on board here with Superman. That's a tough break for Schatzer, who probably, Roger, if this race went green to checkered without a caution flag, I think Schatzer has the winning car tonight.
Yeah, that was really, really unfortunate, man.
Alrighty, so it's going to be single file restarts from here on out, and there are 3 laps to go when we come back to the green flag. Fry has rebounded to the 3rd position. Do you think he has anything for Kemper and Dittmer? Now, let's remember, Fry did take the lead from Kemper.
Well, he may have got some wheel damage when he hit the wall. He hit it
true.
pretty hard there earlier. That's a cute little guy on Dittmer's car.
Yeah, that is a cute little guy, isn't it? Let's look at the right front. Looks intact to me on my end. So now we know that's on the restart here, Roger, that Dittmer will get a free lap because he is the control car on the restart and has the right to fire first. He'll get the power, which can help him lead a lap possibly, but then he may have to play some defense to win.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting 4 laps. Here we go.
Who's it going to be? How's it going to be done? Take a deep breath, folks, because this may be the last one until we take the checkers. Dittmer plays defense, keeps it on the bottom. Fry rolls up on the high side. Can he take the 2 spot off for 2? Dittmer loosey-goosey down the back chute, but Fry and Kemper still wing to wing into turn number 3. Who comes out of this one with the runner-up spot? Everybody hanging on for dear life, but Fry has the 2nd position with 2 laps to go, and here comes Cody Graham into the equation.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Don't count Cody out. He's coming.
But Kevin has closed in on Dittmer once again. Coming off at turn number 4. White flag is in the air with 1 to go. Brandon Dittmer or Kevin Fry, make your pick. Kevin Fry, top shelf for Mama Eyes the Cookies. Can't get the lead off for 2. Dittmer still playing defense. Half a lap to go. Fry has to Chastain it if he wants to win it. He won't be able to get it done. The Spider Monkey breaks the Marty Mobile to victory lane at Williams Grove Speedway.
That was it. That was a good run. Bassman made the call.
Hey, Dean. Hey, Isaac. When you see this, oh, there's the wheelie. There's the wheelie. Hey, Dean. Hey, Isaac. When you see this, just saying, y'all don't have a win with your face on Brandon's car. This is going to be a happy one for Brandon Dittmer. It's been a while since he's been in victory lane in either the Rebels or the Renegades. I don't think we've seen him in victory lane since he won the Rebels Championship at Fallujah on a tiebreaker, which then promoted him up to the Renegades, and then, after a tough season there, went back down to Rebels, and now he is back in victory lane.
You're wrong, Marty. I lucked into 1 win in the Renegades here at Williams Grove because of an incident on track on the last lap.
Oh, and the Renegades.
In the Renegades, I lucked into one between incident between Lacey and Chapman. I stole a victory.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I remember calling that. I forgot about that one. So, all right, we have everybody with us. Let's bring in Kemper here, our 3rd place finisher. Jeff, you dominated the first half. However, though, the second half, after the first caution flies, did you run out of tires from your perspective?
I'm not so much thinking I ran out of the tires. I think I just kind of ran out of talent. I was running in a groove. I had my rhythm going and everything like that. And jumbling up with a restart, it, got my nerves kicking in. I wasn't breathing enough and kind of made some mistakes after that.
How would you feel, though, about your race the entire day? Obviously, you're in a challenge with 2 races left to go, looking for that Rebels Championship. How did you feel, though, about your race points-wise?
Well, I think it was a great night for that. Cody Graham finished by me. I only had 2 incident points, so that's not going to affect me very much. And Joseph Masao was also back there behind. So I think I'm holding out pretty good. Keep racking off these top threes after the drop week. There's a good chance I could be in it.
Absolutely, man. Well, another good run for you. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Gambler Motorsports, especially Connor Ross, did that Knoxville setup again with a little bit of a gear change and a few different things, but it was a good base setup, so it's been working really well for me. Been feeling pretty comfortable with it. Then Lynn Gear Company, Aiden Young, Young Gun Creations. I got to thank you, Marty, for the broadcast, Coast to Coast Racing League, Extreme eSpeed TV, and all the other sponsors.
Absolutely. Well, we'll let you go. Great run, and best of luck the rest of the way.
All right. Thank you, Marty.
Jeff.
Great job, Jeff, and thanks for everything you do for the league, man. I know it's a lot of work.
Yep, that's Kemper, our third place finisher. Let's go to Kevin Fry, our hard charger of the race, and coming oh so close to the win, finishing in second. Kevin, you got the lead over Jeff Kemper, but I would have asked going to turn 3 when Dittmer caught the wall, or when Dittmer took the lead away from you. You actually caught the wall. Do you think that that pretty much ended your chances of a win, or not really?
Yeah, I think so, because I hit the wall pretty good, and it felt like the car was leaning over a little bit more on the right than it had been before. So I don't know. I want to apologize. I haven't seen the replay yet, but I want to apologize to Schatzer for getting into him. But I thought I had a lane open for him on the outside. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I don't. I don't know. But I just want to apologize. Be the bigger person and apologize to him for wrecking him. Like I said, I haven't seen the replay of it yet or not, but I just want to apologize to him and for having him a bad night. So,
how did you feel about your car as a whole? Did you feel like you had a race-winning car tonight?
I don't know. I was playing around with the setup and I put it in just a default setup for Williams Grove and went with it. It felt pretty good, but I can attest it needed some more adjustments. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, hey, a great run for you, making the way up from 11th spot on the grid. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. My team, Dirty South Sim Racing, Twisted Tech, Marzoff Inc., DDR, 21 iRacing Designs, and you guys for putting us on and making us look good on the website, on the interweb.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations on a good second spot. Looking forward to seeing how you run here in the final 2 weeks of the Rebels season.
Yes, sir. Thank you all, guys.
Absolutely. That is Kevin Fry, our second place finisher. But now it's time to move over to Victory Lane to talk with your winner. And more importantly, he is in some special vehicle. And that, of course, is the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Brandon, how's this one feel, man?
Oh, man, it feels great, especially after having such a rough season and a half. Feels good finally get one back.
Just, I guess, walk us through your strategy that entire race. You rolled on the bottom the entire way to pretty much just, save some tires.
That was definitely not my intent going into the race. I had a whole different game plan going in, and I threw that right out the window 3 laps in, and I started going to the bottom all the way around the track, and she worked out beautifully.
How's it feel as well to put the Marty Mobile in Victory Lane?
Oh, so good. I've wanted to get you in there for a while, and I came close. I came so close last season at Knoxville, and then I ran out of gas, but I finally got you in there, Marty.
I'll send you an update, another photo to use, all right? I'll send you another photo to use this week. I forgot to send it to you
Awesome.
in Knoxville. So, but what do you expect for this Renegades race coming up as well?
Let me look at what the track where it starts at 22%, so it's going to be a little bit more war in once we get into that A main kind of time, and I think we have quite a bit more drivers too, so it'll help. I expect kind of more of the same though. I expect a lot more lower line. That top in 3 and 4 was really starting to come in there at the end, but yeah, a lot of low lines I feel like is going to be attempted here again.
Alrighty, well, who do you want to give shout outs to on this run?
Roger for Coast to Coast in general. You for the broadcast as always. Team Training Rules Racing. You for the inspiration for the scheme, of course. Speed Shop 51 for the setup. And of course, all the guys at Knoxville that came out and just gave me that motivation to go out and get another, eh?
Can't forget about that one. Hell yeah, man. Congratulations.
Hey, Brandon. Just got a question. What was the inside? I don't think you've ever seen the inside of the track before. What was it like down there? Was it you handled it really well, man?
Yeah, I don't really go to the inside very much. Very rarely do I do it at Knoxville too, and when I do very rarely go down there, it works. But it's it's not the fast line. It's not where I can put my foot to the floor like I'm used to. But she worked this time.
Did you find? Did you think you had any advantage on tire wear with the other guys because you'd been down there so long?
That I actually don't know. I did look at my right rear, and I I felt like it was a lot further gone than I felt like it or thought it was going to. So I guess we'll compare it with this 35 lap feature that's coming up and see if it really did much.
So here's a look at your results from this evening. Obviously, top 5 are eligible to transfer, provided their IL is in good status. Brandon Dittmer, the winner. Kevin Fry, second. Jeff Kemper, third. G.J. Boydell, fourth. Cody Graham rounded out the top 5. 11th was Mike Cranmer, and 12th was John Krupa. We are actually not going to go to break because Renegade Racing is around the corner. We are going to go back to our broadcast booth and show you myself, Brandon, Zach Chapman's there on the bottom left, as well as on the bottom right, our bassman Roger Craig, who is getting himself warmed up for this Renegade competition. We want to talk about the Knoxville Nationals here last week. I think it was like 11 or 12 of us that all got together throughout the week to watch the greatest dirt race in the world. And I mean, just speaking first here as a first timer at the Knoxville Nationals, this was just unfreaking believable with how it was as a whole. You know, the atmosphere at the track, all the activities to do off the track, the people in the Iowa area. It's just something special, something I don't think you see anywhere else. And I think Roger would say the exact same thing as a first timer too.
Oh man, greatest dirt experience I've ever had. Just rolling into that town and seeing that great racetrack. I mean, I kind of compare it to going into Daytona and seeing Daytona, the huge stadium and it was much the same. You're in this little tiny town, and all of a sudden there's monsters in the middle, and it was just a great experience, and meeting so many of the C2C guys that I've been waiting to meet for years, really.
Brandon, I know you're. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Roger.
it couldn't have been better. No, I just saying it couldn't have been better, man. It's one of the best experiences of my life, and I've been around a while.
Gotcha. Brandon, I know you're a vet of the Knoxville Nationals, but what did you think about this one and seeing a lot of the coast-to-coast game?
I'm going to be honest. This is the most fun I've had during nationals in a long time. For the fact that I actually got to hang out with people for all 4 or 5 days of the week, and actually have something to do with some other people. It's always an amazing experience, especially to meet you all for the first time. I loved every minute of it.
So much better to be hanging out with a group of friends throughout the week over just going by yourself and not watching with anybody except yourself during the Knoxville Nationals. Zach, I know you were not a part of it, but I posted on the lounge how to feel to be photoshopped, or drawn, I should say, into victory lane.
You know, Marty, I kind of owe you one for that. You know, my wife saw that picture and, you know, she could tell how much I really wanted to be there. And that secured my spot next year. Me and my dad are going to go. And I can't wait to meet you guys. And I'll tell you what, Brandon, my dad, he's really looking forward to it too. We can't wait to do that go-kart thing, man. That's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to hang out with all you guys.
Well, Brandon,
I just want,
yeah, go ahead, Roger.
yeah, is Brandon stepped away here, but just want to give Brandon a shout out because you know, going to Slideways. Of course, there was no show Salas, you know,
Is he still?
but
He's
Brandon,
still missing, I believe, from what I hear.
yeah, but Brandon, you know, he was in that championship race in the final, had the lead, was pulling away, and then a caution came out, and it screwed him. You know, it's too bad because he had that cup. Maybe he was picturing that. I don't know. He had the trophy in his hands pretty much. That was his race to lose, and you know, it was just too bad that caution came out because he was leaving them behind.
Absolutely, he was. Brandon, I look forward to our mini golf rematch next year.
Absolutely.
After I kick this butt on the front nine, then the back nine, he just comes all the way back.
You just need to make sure I have a drink in my hand at all times, and then
Yes.
you're good.
Yes.
Well, we don't want to get into you having a drink in your hand at all times. We don't want to go there.
Yes. I gained myself a new nickname for life. I understand, but
Drinking Ditmer.
that's the only way Marty was beating me is if I had a drink in my hand.
What was your favorite thing to do in Knoxville, Roger?
I think it was the get together, you know, with the guys. That was number one by far. But the racing, you know, going to the, you know, the king. I mean, it's the biggest sprint race in the world, and they put on a show. They've done it so long. It was totally professionally done. I mean, it's just they don't miss a step in that thing, and that final was just was awesome. And seeing that four wide coming around, just a great experience. And it's a good time to mention now. Yeah, there is going to be a second annual C2C get together. So let's start planning now. Let's make it bigger and better. I predicted if we do it again, people saw how much fun we were having. We'll get 30, 40 guys potentially because, you know, it was a great experience.
It is going down August 7th, the first night of the 410 Nationals. I think my favorite thing to do was obviously tailgate with you guys at Coast to Coast headquarters, and we want to thank Deb as well, our host of the headquarters at her place, for setting us up with a tailgate spot and a parking spot just to hang out all week long. I think outside of the racing, I think it was the tour we got of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, where we met up with the Steve King Foundation and gave them the check for $1,800 for the Knoxville Nationals, and having all of us that were in attendance around, including Brandon Templeton, around to take a picture at the Hall of Fame. And then getting a tour of the Hall of Fame that no one else really gets to go to was pretty cool.
So, not to interrupt you, but I saw the picture. Obviously, I wasn't there. You know, I saw the picture in the lounge. When you guys were in the Hall of Fame, I saw most of you fell in love with that racing sim. How nice was that simulator in there?
We did. It was very, very nice, to say the least.
I want to say one thing. So in that little tour, that private building that we got, there was that Tim Allison car. I actually know his grandson through a NASCAR Heat League out. He races at Lima Land kind of weekly. One of the coolest kids you'll ever freaking meet, and he's looking to keep his granddad's legacy alive.
Yeah, if I could just jump in one more second, just you know, the meeting Danette King Amstein, that was, yeah, definitely a highlight, and just that whole process in the Hall of Fame, it's something we'll never ever forget. So yeah, it was awesome, man, just awesome.
Absolutely was. Well, can't wait to run it back next season. We are in the Renegades lobby at the moment, so let us get that loaded up while we are at it. I think as well that my SDK Gaming may have crashed.
Okay, I'm gonna dip out and get into the salty dogs room, so
I tell you
they
what,
can tell me alone.
don't tell the admin to go to break. Oh, wait, checkered flag just came.
You just.
Dang it. I was going to try and send this to break because we're having some technical difficulties with our live timing feed. We'll try and get it set before the... we'll try and get it set up here for you before we go with the feature. So when we head to warm-ups, we'll go to break. But car count, I believe, has... 1, 2, 3, 4,
20
5,
cars.
6, 20 cars. So everyone will make the show here this evening.
21 cars, sorry, 21.
21, okay.
22 actually, if everyone grids, because there's 8 in the first heat.
Daniel Vaught did not, disconnected.
Oh, okay.
And that's probably because he was not eligible, so. But we are ready to go for heat race number 1 here. And with that being said, we'll bring back the bottom line and we'll meet the field here for heat race number 1, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Starting lineup looks like this. On the front row, it's John Short next to the Desert Demon and Terry Landis. Row number 2, Gary Taylor and Jesse Bandy. Bandy receiving in EOL, so we'll have to go to the rear. Bob DeGood and Tyler Wilson make up row number 3. And row number 4, Roger Craig and Patrick Spangler. Zach, let's talk about this situation we are in with the Renegade. But the Renegades lead for Blake Chapman is just about 65 points or so, 60, 65 points or so. But when you look at it with the drops we have right now, if you include the 2 drop weeks currently, 4 points separate the Salesman and the High Side Banger.
Yeah, I mean Patrick, he's one of the most consistent guys in the league in a sprint car. Everybody gets into trouble every now and then, but if he normally doesn't get caught up in somebody else's mess, he's up towards the front. 9 out of 10 times, it's not his problem that he gets caught up in. So I mean, he just got to keep his nose clean tonight, and hopefully he can give us a tight battle for the championship here with Blake coming down to the wire. But I don't know where he's at in points, but we always talk about Tyler Wilson too. Can't sleep on that guy. He knows how to get around in these things too.
Absolutely.
Tyler's right there as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's been up towards the front a lot. That macho man, he slings that thing. Can't sleep on him in this race.
Flag is out though for heat race number 1. John Short, Terry Landis bring us the field into the corner. Oh, look out. Gary's hard in the wall.
Yeah, I think Landis got a little loose and Tyler Wilson tried to check up and maybe go in the middle, and Gary just maybe didn't know he was going to be there and floated up into him.
Yeah, they were 4 wide right there, and that's not a recipe for success here.
Yeah, no, not here at the Grove.
So it's Landis and Spangler that race for the 2nd position. Desert Demon rolling around the extreme high side here for P2. So a 3-car battle here for the 2nd position. Spangler off to a hot start here at the moment, Zach. Starting from near the back, making his way up to that 2nd spot. He's got to try and get away from Landis if he wants a chance at John Short. But remember, Landis and Short are teammates.
Yeah, I mean, we know what his nickname is. I'm kind of surprised to see him hugging the bottom here, but, Dittmer made it work there that last time. You saw what it did for him, won the race in the B Series. So I can't blame him for trying it, but I think here, now that he cleared Landis, he'd go to the high side, but he stays on the bottom.
So for those wondering, we have heard back on the technical difficulties with our live timing. We use SDK Gaming, and the updates and the issues will not be resolved here. So we will be putting in our backup link here, and which is a ticker across the top of the screen, and we will have it up here for you shortly, but Spangler now up there on short for the lead here, Brandon.
Yeah, he's been running that low side. I just don't think there's enough momentum on the high side to get around short here. He's just gonna have to hope short makes a mistake.
Yeah, meanwhile, though, it seems like he's really trying to run smooth now that Patrick's on him, and now Landis is right there. It's a three-way battle here with the white flag out.
1 lap to go here in this heat race. Off for 4, Spangler looks around the outside for the win on the last lap. He takes it from John Short.
Man, I want to know if he was saving that in the bag, boys, or if he just sent it in there and went for it on the last lap.
He went in there like Houdini. Right out of nowhere. Now,
John Short got really loose in the middle of the corner.
So now move on to heat race number 2, which is brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. And here is how they line up. On the front row, it's the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry. He is next to the salesman, and Blake Chapman. Row number 2, it's Ross the Boss Carina with the high side hot and shield Knoxville paint scheme of the 10, and the Pink Panther and Jesse Atkinson. Row number 3, it's Brandon Templeton in the 31, and next to him, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in car number 83. Rounding out the field, it's the driver of the 181, and Jeff Kemper.
Wow, who stacked this heat, Marty? This is a tough one.
Yeah, and look at Blake getting a lucky pill draw.
Absolutely. Chapman outside of row number 1 here. And we are going to go green this time by. Green flag. Oh, it's 3 wide already for the lead. Atkinson thought about it for just a bit. And they are 2 by 2 down the back. Chapman and Fry, no one has a 9 to turn 3. Fry tries to throw the slide job. Here comes Ross Carino to second spot. Man, Kevin lost 3 positions or something with that slide job.
I don't know if he came off the bars or something, but boy, he looks so tight. And honestly, right now he does too. He's struggling a little bit on the bottom. He's going to go by.
Atkinson shifts up the racetrack, doesn't work. Meanwhile, they're nearly 4 wide from, I think that's 4th on back. Templeton, Fry, Kemper, and Dittmer. Meanwhile, a change for the lead. Carino takes the 10 to the point. Chapman falls back to 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, everybody makes the show tonight, but it's so hard to pass here. You got to get guys when you can.
Dittmer with a nice save, and that's 3 wide for the 4th position. Kemper was in the middle, moved Fry up to that 4th spot. And back to the race lead. Blake, real well known for saving that right rear tire, may have something under his sleeve. He heads underneath on the 10 of Carino, risking the high side, and through goes the salesman to the point as they touch. That was a power move by Blake there, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, no harm, no foul there. I mean, if you're, Blake, you got to basically think you're clear there. You're coming off the corner. You don't see anybody, you're putting it up there to take the racing line away. You got to know that's coming.
Carino may have lost that right rear way too early as Atkinson now moves to the 2nd spot. So we're coming to 2 laps to go here in our 2nd heat race of 3. 4th belongs to the 181 of Kemper. 5th Dittmer, 6th Fry. Templeton has brought it into the pits. But oh man, just think about this front row when we take the feature. The 2 championship contenders separated by 4 points. This is about to be something a lot of fun. I can't wait for this one. This feature coming up in just a matter of moments. Meanwhile, coming off of turn number 4, checkers are waving, and your heat winner, Blake Chapman.
Wonder if he used any advice from the big cat here.
Possibly. They have taken some notes. We move to heat race number 3, brought to you by Top Notch Trucking in Minot, North Dakota. Here's how they line up. On the front row, Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217, and he's next to the Ayla Outlaw Preston Cranmer in car number 07. Row number 2, it's G.J. Boydell in the 014. He is next to Kyle Sargent in the 91. Row number 3, rounding out the field. Oh, it is so good to see the Gooseback. Chet Cote in car number 11, and the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. I think Cote heard about the trip to Knoxville that we all had and had a lot of fun with. He showed up. Coming green here for our final heat race of the night.
Front row almost touched there. That got close. Preston did a good job of gathering that up.
Oh, absolutely. It did get really tight as the field makes their way down the back chute. Hitt's got the advantage. Up the track he goes in front of Sargent as they touch Barker on the binders and move the Goose to third. Nice run for Chet Cote early at the moment, but it's Jack Hitt that leads lap 1. Cote longer way around the racetrack on Preston Cranmer for the 2 spot.
Yeah, Preston's not going to make this easy on him, so right now he's Jack's best friend there.
Brandon, a wild race for 4th on back. Boydell's got the nod over Barker and Sargent.
Those boys are just throwing haymakers at each other back there, and it looks like Sargent kind of fell back a little bit, but Barker's going to go right back at Boydell.
3 laps complete, this time by. Not a lot of racing on the racetrack at the moment as Hitt's trying to pull away. You don't see Jack Hitt a lot up in front here in heat races, and you don't see him with a big lead like this in a sprint car, well known for racing the midgets. But seeing Jack like this in the sprint car, this is awesome to see.
Yeah, and he's doing it on the bottom, and Jack's one of those guys who's good in a midget. So this is one place where maybe that translates a little bit. Like maybe he's getting on the binders a little bit on entry, and driving it a little bit like a midget. Because this place is like a paperclip, so you drive it different than all the other tracks.
Couple laps remaining here in our 3rd and final heat race. Good race for 3rd here, Boydell. How about this run he's having? The Canadian that's known for road racing, and expect him to be a contender in the GT3 feature later on tonight. Move him into 3rd, Cranmer down to 4th, and it's Barker and Sargent that are side by side for 5th.
Yeah, Greg looked really good the other night in the Knoxville Nationals race too, but he just had some bad luck.
Absolutely. Oh, wicked slider there, Brandon, by Preston. Didn't pay off. Sargent to 4th with 1 to go.
He really threw that, but he thought better of it and saved his car for maybe a little better starting spot in the feature.
Meanwhile, field down the back chute, final lap in heat race number 3, and it's Gentleman Jack Hitt. Believe this is his first heat win of the season in the the Renegades, and that's one that's got to feel good. He starts from 3rd tonight. So it's now feature time. As we have the Oshweekend warm-up watch, we'll step aside. Stay with us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olson? She has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
We're back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, moments away from feature time here. We're looking forward to this one. Well, we are ready to go for feature time here at the Renegades. Let's meet the field in our our catalytic recovery starting lineup. On the front row, your two championship contenders. Line up on pole position. Pull up here on your screen. That is Patrick Spangler, the high side banger. He's next to Salesman and Blake Chapman. Row number 2, it's Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217 and John Short in the 51. Row 3, the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson in the 127 and the Goose, Chad Cote. Row 4, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161 and the Boss, Ross Carino in car number 10. Row 5, GJ Boydell in the 014 and Bobby Good in car number 7. Row 6, Jeff Kemper in the 181 and Kyle Sargent in car number 91. Row 7, it's the Bandy Belt Master, Jesse Bandy in car number 49 and the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Row number 8, the Outlaw, Preston Kramer in car number 07 and the Masked Man, Roger Craig in the 747. Row 9, the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry in the 21 and the 513 of the Brewington Beats and Jeff Barker. Row number 10, it's the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson, the 42-31 of Brandon Templeton. And rounding out the field here tonight, the captain, Gary Taylor, in car number 32. Alrighty here, we are set to go racing. Time for your picks tonight here, Zach. Who do you think is going to get it done?
You know what? It's real easy to go with one of those guys on the front row, but watching warm-ups, he looked good, and then Heat 3, man, with the way he bottom fed, I just think it's going to work out the way it did for Brandon in the B race. I'm going to go with the gentleman there, Jack Hitt.
Be a nice upset if he got it done. Williams Grove, PA. We are at his home state. Give me the high side banger, Patrick Spangler, to go back-to-back. Brandon, wishing you the best of luck in this one.
Thank you.
All right, and again, let's remember this situation. 4 points between the top two if you include the drops. 447 to 443. Tyler Wilson also a part of this championship battle as well, but about 20 points or so behind. We are ready to go for the Lucy Olson start. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? Your top two in the championship are on the front row. It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway. Off at turn number 2, it's Patrick Spangler with the end, but Blake Chapman underneath as he looks for the lead. Oh, Jack Hitt into him. He makes a terrific save, though. Hitt loses a bunch of spots as he's 3 wide. Chapman down to 3rd on lap number 1, but it's Spangler out in front, though, at the moment as he tries to pull away. Look at Cote, high, wide, and hands it for 2nd, but he gets the door slammed shut by John Short here, Zach.
Yeah, meanwhile, Patrick, he's loving this, dude. Walked out to a 4-car length lead here. He's just walking away on that high side.
Terrific start for the driver of the 39. First driver down low is Blake Chapman, the guy we know that he knows how to save tires by utilizing that low line and then taking her up to the top shelf late in the going. Underneath he is on Jesse Atkinson. That's for the 4th position on the racetrack. And Chapman takes it away. Cote low on Short for 2nd. Spangler up the track. A big mistake. A rare mistake. Through goes John Short. The 51 takes it to the point.
Yeah, Patrick. Oh, now is he going to have to give it back?
Yellow flag is out.
He's got to give it back.
Oh, man, that is heartbreak for the driver of the 51. Believe this yellow flag here is for Roger Craig. And now, because our live timing is down, we're going to have to rewind it manually. So again, our apologies for that. Here's a look. Slight contact with the 83 as Dittmer spins. collects Craig in the process. Dittmer was able to save it. Last time by, we could tell you that John Short did have the best lap of anybody with a 19.172. Spangler, though, Zach, is one lucky son of a gun.
Yeah, he is. I mean, double luck, really. I mean, obviously it's on Shorty for getting loose there in the heat race, but you know, he got him there on the last lap when Shorty got loose there coming out of turn 4, and now he gets loose, and lucky enough for him, a caution comes out and saves the day.
We do go double file here for this restart. I believe we use the choose rule with how long this track is.
Yep, yeah, they're using the choose rule tonight. They're picking their spots right now. I'm really surprised that Patrick, you know, I mean, obviously go on the leader here, so he gets the jump either way. I'm surprised he doesn't take the high side here and make Shorty throw that slider, because he was much more comfortable up high, as we saw when he got that run and made the pass for the lead.
So ready for our first Mission 22 restart after the first Gambler Yellow of the day. Patrick Spangler, John Short, row number 1. Blake Chapman and Chad Cote, row number 2. Row number 3, Jesse Exon, Jeff Kemper, Ross Corinna, Kyle Sargent, Jack Hitt, Jesse Bandy, round out the top 10. Ready for the restart, we're back to green.
He really caught Shorty napping there. Good jump for Patrick.
See who takes the second position off of turn number 2. Teammates still wing to wing in the corner, with Atkinson in the 4th position. Everyone's still jumbled up. Chapman has the 2nd spot. Cote and Atkinson still race for 4th, but currently all Patrick Spangler in this one early. John Short. Oh, did somebody just flip? Nope, sorry. I think I saw an illusion, but Short just lost a couple of spots there. Nearly loses 3rd to Cote, though. I think he got a little bit too high in turn number 4 there, Zach.
Yeah, real easy to do here. You know, the middle's starting to even get worn out. You almost got to lock it down and go completely on the bottom, or try to send it in up high and carry momentum around here.
So 7 laps currently in the books. Spangler currently leads. Blake Chapman, our Knoxville Nationals champion from 2 weeks ago, actually got to meet and shake hands with the 2018 Knoxville Nationals champion in Brad Sweet, which was a pretty cool moment there. And however, though, I think the two combined for, I don't know what the average height was, but it was pretty small. So, but Chapman, though, low on Spangler for the lead. Cote tries to follow suit, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I say, I was hoping it would be Jack. Nothing against Blake there, but I'm thinking I watched Brandon work that bottom at the end of the B race, and I think that's going to be the place to be, believe it or not. Blake's good at it.
Ooh, Cote nearly got into the tail tank of Blake Chapman. On the binders he goes, and now he has to deal with Ross Corinna for the 3rd position, who's having a good run. Just from about the top 10 or so. Chapman, though, nope, caution flag comes back out. We'll see what it is for. And, oh, here we go, man. Kevin Fry has lost the top wing. Jesse Bandy's also in it. And same with Preston Cranmer. Here's a look. He just squeezed it. Oh, yeah, into that opening. Oh, man, those are heavy accidents. Saw Brandon Templeton also was involved. About a 5-car wreck or so here, Zach. If you're looking at it onboard, how did it look?
Man, it was rough. It was rough. You know, if you're Kevin there, I understand it's so hard to pass here. You know, you finally get the run on the high side, but it's one where you almost want to back out of that and live to fight another day.
Checking in on Brandon here. I see you're in the pits. Are you getting some repair work done?
I'm done.
Alrighty, so he is back with us here in the booth.
Tell you what, 2 different features, 2 completely different track states. It's not easy transition, that's for sure.
Who do you think gets the nod here tonight, Spangler or Brandon?
How do you go against either? They're both so smooth and so fast. Patrick, don't hate me. I think Blake's gonna be able to snag this one from you.
Did you guys just see positions 1st through 3rd took the bottom there?
All
That is it.
took
We have
inside.
we haven't really seen that one in a while.
No, I'm kind of shocked. I mean, maybe I understand Blake a little bit there because you get to jump with the leader in front of you anyways, but man, that's a tough one. If I'm in 3rd, you almost got to go up top and try to battle.
So big advantages possibly for Ross Corinna and John Short as we're set to go after our second gambler caution. Remember, Spangler does have the control of this restart. And Blake's probably glad that he chose the inside as well because he wants that second spot back from Corinna, but the boss not going to give it up easily here. Ross moves into 2nd. That was a big restart for the driver of the 10, but we know Chapman's good on that bottom. And Corinna, though, has it secured. Man, Corinna got lucky there, Zach.
Yeah, Christmas came early for him, and he drove it in there in turn 1 and 2, and he pinched Blake down just enough that he wasn't going to let him float up.
Oh, boy. Kemper got really sideways, and now he's hooked on, and up in the air he goes, collects Boydell and hit. Caution flag is out. Taylor and Craig also involved. Well, we had a good view from that one. Brandon, how well was that racing happening in the back?
Yeah. The back here, they get all sorts of congested together. I believe it was Atkinson and Kemper get together, and Kemper gets into the back of Boydell, and everybody else just kind of piles in. A couple people spin out trying to avoid it. It's mayhem, to say the least.
Mayhem did break out here. They are not protected by Allstate because they have to deal with this mayhem. Okay, I'll throw that away in my list of one-liners.
Liked it. I liked it. That was fun.
Okay. So now Ross Corinna back on that outside. Chapman decides to stay low. Only change here amongst this choose cone from last restart is that Ched Cote is now the 3rd car on the outside in 6th.
Yeah, which I'm puzzled by that because, like I say, he was the car in 3rd on the last restart. So I would have assumed if I was him, I would have took 2nd, front row outside there. But he chose to stay 3rd on the bottom, and now he could have been 3rd on the bottom again, but he moved to the high side. So he definitely regretted his decision on the last restart. Out of nowhere, there's the Macho Man in row 4.
Absolutely. Tyler Wilson has come from outside the top 20, and he's currently in 7th. Right now, as things stand, I believe Patrick Spangler would have the unofficial points lead with the drops. So that's just something to keep in the back of the mind. 12 laps complete as we're back to the green flag. And Corinna hangs on for 2nd, but look at Shorty on the outside. He wants the 3rd spot from his teammate. Corinna for the race lead on Spangler. Neutral groove from the boss. Can he take the lead? Not yet. Spangler has him cleared by a car length, Brandon.
And I'll tell you what, Corinna's really making the most out of that chance. And there it goes on a chance of Patrick, too.
He is making the high side banger work for it. 14 laps go up on the board this time by. Spangler still hanging on. Spangler getting the better exit on his padded high groove. Chapman, Short, Cote round out the top 5. Here's Cote on Short for P4. One up in the wall behind them. That was Kyle Sargent. Corinna again for the lead in the corners.
Oh, reckon 3 and 4.
Oh, 2 upside down. One of them with Sargent. Kevin Fry also involved. As we go to caution. Third gambler yellow of the day. Remember, he had just caught the wall earlier. Templeton just touched the back of him. Some around. Oh, man. Did not go upside down. Just had all 4 wheels in the air. Here's what we were talking about by that wall hit. Right there. The sparks off at turn number 2 flew. There was the Templeton touch.
To the high side to come in on 3 and 4 this race, but I didn't overly expect the high side in 1 and 2 to come in. So this could be a pretty big slider fest here coming up shortly.
It could be. Light should go off this time. And they do. Spangler and Corinna, row 1. Chapman in short, row 2. Wilson, Cote, row number 3. Templeton, Barker, row 4. Bandy and Atkinson round out the top 10. And how about Jesse Bandy as well, back in that top 10 after spinning earlier?
Anybody can do it. It's that guy.
Yes. Still looking for that first ever Renegades win. Alrighty. It's the single file restart now. With 20 laps to go. I don't think that's what Ross Corinna really wanted. Chapman still third. First side-by-side battle, first close battle, I should say, is Wilson and Atkinson. That's the race for 7th, and Wilson was able to take that away. Meanwhile, riding the wall is Templeton, but we go back to yellow. I'm not too sure what for, and it's right here. Preston Cranmer. Somebody's lost the front wing. That was the 161 of Terry Landis. The teammates, the slight teammates got into it. Landis caught the one. Man, he was really slow off of turn number 2, and I'm not too sure what was going on. I think Kevin Fry was just holding him up. Both John caught the wall and was just trying to avoid hitting him. And then I think he just got squeezed by him and Kyle Sargent. And Preston is left with nowhere to go. Is that right, Brandon?
So, sorry, what did you say? I missed it.
The accident. It just seemed like Landis got squeezed. He was stuck in a jam.
Oh, he hit the outside wall hard, yeah, and just got way woed up, and Preston had nowhere to go, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a case of two. I mean, Kyle definitely, didn't give him much room there, but you can't expect a guy to hit the wall going down the middle of the backstretch. It's kind of tough place for him to be at.
I've been in Preston's spot before, and it's not a fun spot to be in.
So we'll go, again, single file on this restart. And again, Spangler leads, Corinna second. Blake Chapman third, John Short fourth, Chad Cote fifth, Jeff Barker, how about him in 6th? What a run he's having. Atkinson 7th, Wilson 8th, Templeton 9th, and Bob DeGood also with a great run as well. He's inside the top 10. Another lap goes off the boards. First guy on the outside is the 51 is short, who's been working that line pretty much all night long. Corinna wants the lead, peeked underneath. And are we back to caution? We are. And I'm not sure. I think it's for this guy here and Kyle Sargent. Man, cautions breeding cautions here, Zach. I'm not sure what is going on here. Here we go.
Yeah, it looked like Kemper got into the back of Jack Hit a little bit, and Jack Hit got sent around.
I think if you look on this restart, Hit was already going around no matter what. Just way too loose, and Kemper got on the back of him. Whoa, Gary Taylor. Man, he really had to dodge that one. Unfortunately, the wall is right there for the captain. Look at that, man. Quick reaction to miss him, but unfortunately that wall right there.
Yeah, like I say, Jack, being a midget guy, just looked like he got on the binders too hard there on the bottom. You were right, and it just like, I think it was going around whether Jeff helped him or not.
Don't forget, everyone, we have the GT3 race coming up next on iRacing at Imola. I still actually, you know what? I actually think I still need to buy that track. I don't even think I have it. I have it on F1, obviously. So this may be an extended break. Tyler Wilson, Brandon, Tyler Wilson has a question. How late did Roger keep you up?
How late?
Yes.
Which night?
Oh. What was
Wait,
the
so
line?
Roger, he knows how to party? Roger's he
Oh,
can
yes.
stay up. Oh wow, okay, man, now I'm even more excited for next year.
He knows how to party.
I can't wait.
I think he had some midday naps to help him through that,
Yes.
but
That is correct. So
Roger stayed up really late, with Gary and Bill, so I'm surprised.
all right, let's try this again.
It's the best restart Ross has had all night.
Timed it really well. Chapman, the lowest as possible.
There he is, he's
Corinna.
looking for it.
What a corner exit for the boss. Underneath he goes for the lead. Decides not to throw the slide job. You've got a new leader in Ross. Corinna, maybe not. Spangler counters it back, and he leads the line. Here comes Chapman. Spangler throws the slider. 3 wide for the top spot. Here comes the salesman.
Yeah, you know, well, he doesn't care. He gonna make it 3 wide, but I thought with Blake being there, that was gonna limit with what he could do. But here we go.
Spangler on the top keeps the lead. No, Chapman stolen at the line. 16 to go. This is a great race of the moment.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Spangler still hanging on.
Nine 1,000s at the line between Patrick and Blake that last lap.
I don't know which race to watch, the race for the lead or the race for 4th. John Short up there in the 4th spot. Got company from Jeff Barker.
Patrick
Spangler in the
won.
wall. That helps Chapman clear. Now what can the high side banger do on his padded line? That's the question. With 14 to go. Corinna underneath for 2nd. Meanwhile, it's 3 wide for 4th. Cote stuck in the middle. Here comes the Macho Man. Currently the unofficial hard charger. Brandon, where'd he come from?
He's been slowly, meticulously working his way through the field, and he has just been picking off one by one.
Oh, man!
Oh my
How did they
golly!
not hook? This is insanity. 12 laps to go, boys. Take it easy for Pete's sakes.
Who
So
says
Wilson-
we can't get good racing at the Grove?
So Wilson has 4th, Shorts in 5th, Cote back to 6th, and Barker's down to 7th. Templeton climbs the wall once again, but meanwhile, with 11 to go, Blake Chapman, he has increased the lead to a 2nd on Patrick Spangler.
Blake was watching my Rebels race.
Coretta
I don't know
Watts
how
in
he does
second
it.
position.
With 15 to go every week, he just flips the switch in that car, and it just turns on.
I think it's this new tire model. He is just adapted to it perfectly.
He's gone.
We could be, after tonight, ladies and gentlemen, 2 races away from a new king on top of the throne officially. Zach, I think you were the one that said this is Blake Chapman's sandbox and we're playing it. No, it was Dean.
Dean.
That
Yeah,
said it.
Dino. Yeah, that's Dino's, man.
And Knoxville.
It truly is, though. I mean, it's unbelievable what this kid's doing. I'd love to see a throttle input from him.
Hometown Heroes champion in the past. 8 laps to go here at Williams Grove. Meanwhile, Wilson for third on Coretta. Dancing with the double off of 2, moves to P3.
Dare I say it, but with how much ground he's made up, if he gets a caution, he might have something
Oh
for the
my,
sales.
you could be right. And this has been, you gotta give credit to Wilson though. It has been a heck of a season to drive the 42, the best season he's ever had yet. And now we are seeing for the first time in this Renegades event, lap traffic. Leaders put a lap down on Roger Craig, the 15th place driver. With 8 laps to go. Actually, check that, 6 laps to go. 2 guys ahead likely for Blake Chapman if we go green the end, that being Gary Taylor and Kevin Fry.
Unbelievable, that drive for Wilson, though. There are 3 guys right now with 0 incident points, and he's one of them.
Who are the other 2?
Let me pull that up here. Jeff Barker and Jesse Atkinson.
Look at this, though, for 2nd on his teammate. This is going to get interesting with 4 laps to go. If I'm Spangler, I'm trying to hang on for dear life. Keep in mind, Wilson wants 2nd because if a yellow flag flies, he's got a chance of the win on Blake Chapman.
Not only that, but I believe with a hard charger and 0x.
Oh no!
There it
wow.
is. Blake Chapman, I think, got involved in it.
What?
I don't know. What is this yellow for? Is it for Kemper?
Yeah, Lapper in front of Blake
Blake
Chapman.
did get involved.
He got
Gary
into Gary
Taylor and Blake Chapman got together.
Oh my goodness.
And Kemper,
Oh,
he ran into Kemper. Oh no.
Wow,
Oh,
yeah,
Kemper had
Kemper was
already
spun
spun.
out.
Kemper already spun, and as he was about to tow it. Wow, that was very strange.
I'm not seeing a lot of damage on the front end of Chapman's car. He might have just got the luckiest break in the world.
I don't know what, he was slowing up, and then all of a sudden the car looped.
Gary Taylor kind of got loose in front of him. He had to slow up originally, and then Kemper was just right there, and he had nowhere to go. He just had to pray. And hopefully that's not too much damage to take him out of contention.
Gary was sideways already by himself, and man, just not in time. Well, this just got interesting now. Single file the rest of the way, and it's a 3-lap shootout to decide who wins this one.
Who this hurts was Tyler. He was going on the pass on Patrick Spangler on the backstretch. He was actually just past his nose, and the caution came out and took that all away. So now he's got a lot more work to do.
Now, Zach, what are the incident points between Blake and Patrick at the moment?
Let me look here. Blake has 6. And Patrick, where's Spangler? 4.
That's big, right there. Definitely is critical.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, dude, he's got to be clean here because even in 3rd place with the hard charger and the 0 incident point bonus, he gets the most points out of this race right now as it
Absolutely.
stands.
That's a 9-point swing right there.
That is a great point for the driver. Officially second in points without the drops. And that could definitely make it a three-man race for the title hunt with 2 races to go. But more importantly, we're focused on the final 3 laps of this one. Nice exit from Spangler. He could close in on Chapman going into 3. Keeps it low. Remember, Spangler's been so good on the exit of turn 4. Corinna may have something to say about it. Spangler, top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Can't get it to work with 2 circuits remaining. Wilson low for second. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it done. Chapman has to defend 2 guys from Training Wheels Racing. Wilson may throw the needle off the middle. The caution is back out.
No, we did not want that, boys.
And
we
we
did
are
not want that.
Going to overtime. Chad Cote has a demolished 11C.
Oh.
Coming to the white flag, and again. Oh, oh my goodness! What the hell?
Oh!
That's the hardest that we've seen here tonight. Into Atkinson. Oh. Head on with that opening. Major wreck. Watch this onboard.
That gives me flashbacks to the World of Outlaws 2002 game at frickin' I-55. The opening and the backstretch, that's the hardest hit you'll ever frickin' take. And that gave me flashbacks to it.
There's Atkinson. I think that was the 51. A short that lost the front wing. It was. So another chance for Tyler Wilson to take second. Doesn't work. Who would you want to have in second right now? If you're Blake Chapman, would you rather have Spangler or Tyler Wilson?
I mean, I hate to rip on the points leader, but it seems like right now Tyler Wilson's faster. So I think, I don't think you want him behind you right now.
I think Patrick's found something up top, though. But it's going to take him a lap to get up to speed.
Absolutely. And in overtime, obviously, the leader gets a freebie lap. Patrick or Wilson, it's going to take a Hail Mary to get this done.
The question is, do you follow Blake Chapman down to the bottom until you get up to speed, or do you just go up hoping you hit something?
You follow him on the bottom. Once you get into 3 and 4, if you're Spangler, you get back on that high side. And then at the final lap, if you're still behind, I think you have no choice but to hail Melinet. But we'll see here. Chapman looking for win 2. Wilson and Spangler looking for win 3. Here we go.
Blake went a lot later that time. That really gave him a good jump on the restart.
Wilson looks for second on Spangler once again. Great corner exit for the 42, but he nearly catches the wall. May have had to let off the throttle. Corinna underneath. Barker underneath as well in the picture for the possible win. Wilson moves up to second. White flag is out with 1 to go. Everything happening behind the salesman, Blake Chapman. Corinna loses it. The Galen's homegrown popcorn, KSR number 20. Then Wilson with a run underneath. He can't get the hole. Off for turn 4. Spangler with one last run. Here we come to the line. CART for 15% off. Blake Chapman with the dub. Oh my goodness, it was a pedal fest to the finish.
He had the most points up until then. He's going to be kicking himself for that one. There was nothing wrong with the second place run, but he did the right thing and not dump Blake there.
Absolutely. That was just good, hard racing between the top 2. Wilson had a hole. Just did not work, unfortunately. And that likely cost him the hard charger. Spangler second. But look at who finishes in the 3rd spot, guys. How about Jeff Barker, ladies and gentlemen?
The Brewerton Beast. Let's go.
First top 5 of the season. And correct me if I am wrong here in Renegades competition. that actually ties him with Lernerville from last year in January for his best finish in the Renegades.
One of the best guys in here. Not many people deserve it more than him. Good for Jeff.
Let's go back to that final lap.
Did he think he was going to go to the top to defend?
I think he thought so. I don't know.
Blake had a weird entry into 3 there. I think Tyler thought he was going to the bottom, and he... Oh, man, that's brutal.
The two actually touched.
Hey, like Ayrton Senna said, right? If you're not a race car driver if you see a gap and you don't go for it. So
that's what came to mind.
Gotta do
yeah.
it.
Top 2 simply touched as Chapman was trying to hang on to it. Spangler had one final run off at turn number 4, but it just was not enough. But how about all these finishers here tonight? Barker 3rd, G.J. Boydell 4th from the Rebels. Bob DeGooden 6th. Gary Taylor 7th. Man, great runs from a lot of drivers you don't normally see up in the front. All right. Let's go to the 3rd place finisher in Jeff Barker. Jeff, how about a 3rd place finish? Ties your best Renegades finish ever. How about it just dodging those wrecks tonight?
Yeah, only about half of them were in front of me, so yeah, it was pretty good. I got lucky on one that I just barely made it through for the track closed up.
Absolutely. Did you think you had anything? Did you feel like you were as fast as Blake and Patrick tonight, or not really? Because you were up there
for
with
once,
them.
yes. For once, yes. I was talking to Bob early in the race, and I was like, I got a long way to go, but I think I got something for the front. So yeah, the car felt good.
How do you use this positivity moving forward to the final 2 races of the year at Volusia and Knoxville?
Oh, big tracks, huh? Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna use that. Probably use the same setup. Yeah, it felt good tonight, and thanks again for Bob the Good for helping out with the setups, and yeah.
Anybody else want to give shout outs to sponsors and
Yeah.
stuff?
Malcolm Mills Millwrighting, United States Marine Corps, C2C, C2C group, and kart racing team, and obviously you guys for broadcasting, making it fun.
Awesome job tonight, man. Congratulations. I know you'll take this one as a win, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It was a fun race.
Jeff Barker, your 3rd place finisher. Let's go to Patrick Spangler, finishing 2nd here tonight. Not what you wanted points-wise, Patrick. What more did you need tonight for Blake?
He's good on this new build. I felt like I had a couple runs there at the end, but Tyler was right behind me, and he's been building the sets, been doing an awesome job, and he helped me out a couple weeks ago, and I thought he'd have more tire there, and he was getting good runs on me, so I went down low, and he sailed around me on top, but he junked on the last turn there. Maybe just another lap or 2, because I know Blake got in that lap car and he was a little damaged, so a lap or 2 I may have had a shot at him.
The power you had in turns 3 and 4 on that final lap, did you feel like that was enough to maybe pull up to him side by side at the end?
I was pretty surprised because I was behind Tyler going into 3 and 4, I think, and then I pulled it within, I think, 0.2 of them, and that's why I think if one more lap, I may have had him there. Had 50% left on the tire, so she was a little squirrely, but it was still pretty fast up there.
Who do you want to give shout-outs tonight on this one?
Just you for the awesome broadcast, and Zach and Brandon there helping me out. Roger around the league. Kevin Fry for adminning. Tyler for the awesome setup again. He's been killing it this season on building them himself. And Train Wheels Racing, Brandon, congrats on the win earlier too. Sorry, couldn't make it 2 for 2. And Dad, Uncle back home watching.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and we'll see you next week.
All right, sounds good. See you.
Patrick Spangler, our 2nd place finisher here this evening. To the winner we go in Extreme E-Speed TV Victory Lane. Your winner tonight is Blake Chapman. Blake, long time no see, but man, oh man, was that not easy to get that win.
Oh man, yeah, that was quite a race. I figured there at the very end, I was either gonna win it or I was gonna drive it so hard the wheels fell off the thing. I mean, this car was really screwed up after I got into that lap car there on the caution, but I was fortunate enough to see that final caution come out because I know Patrick was coming, and I tried to wait a little bit on the restart to try to get a jump, and I felt like I got a pretty good jump, and just running the lines I had previously before, and the car wasn't fast, but it was enough to hold on to the win.
Definitely was. Final lap. Walk us through going into turn number 3 and 4. Tyler had a heck of a run on you.
Yeah, I thought I had a pretty good gap. I couldn't hear anybody behind me. So I was just going to run the same line I've been running. And all of a sudden, there's a little tap from behind. And I'm like, oh, shoot. I was hoping that nobody was coming up on the top side or underneath me even more. So, yeah, that was pretty pretty nerve-wracking to have someone come flying in there like that. But glad I could recover it and hold on.
Well, the wreck in front of you. Kemper obviously spun out in front of you. What happened from your perspective?
Yeah, coming down the backstretch, there's a lap car in front of me who really milking the cow, kind of all over the track. So I slowed down a little bit and went to the inside. But with that wall there in 3, you couldn't see if anybody was spun out there. You couldn't really see the corner. So I went to the bottom in that corner, and then all of a sudden Kemper was sitting there, and I'm like, oh shoot. Yeah, unfortunate. Hopefully I didn't damage Jeff too much or get him a couple more X's there. But yeah, I just couldn't see him coming into that corner, unfortunately. But I'm glad that we only had a couple laps left because that would have happened earlier on in the race. I would have had a pit for sure.
That wasn't on you, Blake. Jeff actually messaged me and said he broke the right front. He had tried the 2 previous laps to pit, and finally when he got on the brakes there to try to pit, he just spun out with the broke right front. So that wasn't your fault there.
Yeah, I can't blame it for that either. That's definitely happened to me before. Sometimes these cars get so screwed up, they're even tough to pit.
Well, next week, Blake, Volusia, what do you think going in there with 2 races left to go? Could be winning your first championship in the Renegades, but obviously it is very close.
Yeah, I've been fast to that track before, but I haven't run there since the new update, so I felt like the setups have been on point recently. Hopefully we can just continue that and run well at Volusia. Then I think we got Knoxville in the final week, and that should be a lot of fun. A lot of fun there. So, yeah, hopefully good things will come next week.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Oh, I got to shout out my parents and grandparents, Steve Bixler, everybody watching and supporting. Got to shout out the boys down at the Krite Sim Racing team and the Can-Am Racing team. And, of course, I got to give a shout out to Galen's Gourmet Popcorn.
Yes, you do.
You can head over to their website and use code CART, C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off some of their delicious popcorn. The official popcorn of the Coast to Coast Racing League. The guys love it. I got to thank all the guys.
Week.
Oh, yeah. I got to thank all the guys for coming down and eating the popcorn. I had a blast with all you guys. Hopefully we'll do it again next year. And did I mention you could use code CART to get 15% off some of that delicious popcorn? Yes. Hopefully I did. Yes, and I got to thank you guys for putting this broadcast on.
I actually even mentioned it too when you took the checkered flag tonight.
Oh, that's great.
So
that's great.
Welcome.
Thanks, Marty.
No problem. Alrighty. Congratulations. Your 2nd win of the season. Well done, man.
Thanks, Marty.
Blake Chapman, he is in victory and what I miss.
That is actually one of the flavors that I ordered, Zach.
He's got it. He actually has it right here.
Yeah, he kicks my butt so much. I figured, I've ordered 3 or 4 times by now.
Hey, isn't that supposed to go to me? Because that's birthday cake.
Oh.
Hey, this is my flavor right here.
Nice. I wish I could eat it, but I know it tastes good.
I got some of that coming in the mail here pretty shortly, so
nice.
I'll be enjoying it.
Alrighty. Late Night GT3 is coming up in just a bit on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We are moments away from the GT3 portion of our program, and we are definitely looking forward to this one. We'll bring you back inside our broadcast booth here. If we can pull it on up. There we go. Marty Scala alongside Zach Chapman. Let me sit up for just a bit. It's been a long night for me here, and still continuing to be a long day, still trying to get back used to the Eastern time zone after the week spent on the Central time zone. But anyway, GT3s at Imola. The main guy we talk about in this one is Bob Light, and he is currently on a tear right now at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, if you're within half a second of that guy, it seems like you're driving on the edge. So I don't. Sometimes I just don't know how Bob does it. He's in his own world out here sometimes.
Absolutely. We'll bring it up here on your screen. See the 6 drivers here loaded up, and it's Bob Light, followed by, I believe, Brandon Combs, G.J. Boydell, Bob DeGood, Preston Kramer, Jeff Barker, and Jeremy Tate have joined us for this 45-minute showdown here at Imola in San Marino. Let's talk about this track while we're at it here. And this is a fun track to race on Formula One as well as on iRacing. 3-mile circuit, 19 corners. The lap record in an F1 car is minute 15, set by Lewis Hamilton. in 2020. The big corners that stand out to me here, obviously there's a lot of quick chicanes here. I feel like the biggest corners that stand out to me, the final two left-handers, turn 17 and 18 at Rivasa. That could determine the winner.
Yeah, if you pick up the throttle too early in either, that rear end will float out on you, and if you get out there in the grass, you're gone. So it's all about throttle control in those last two corners for sure.
Taking a ride on board here with the 7 of Bob DeGood. Can show you where he is at. I believe this is turns 11, 12, and 13. Ake Minerali. Yes, that is where he was at. Now he comes into turns 14 and 15. Variante Alta. And this corner exit, the asphalt to the right, you can actually use that on F1, but I don't think you can use it on iRacing. Now we are approaching the final braking zones that I mentioned, could be a game changer. These two corners remind me a little bit of, I think Sebring has a pair of corners a lot similar to that, but not at the end, like about halfway through the circuit.
My favorite corner here, definitely, I'm a big F1 guy, as you are, Marty, but turn 1 here, it sucks we missed out on it this year with those guys because of the bad weather over there. They canceled this race, but turn 1 is so exciting, having all the guys barrel down that long straightaway there into that tough left-hander, quick right-hander. This track brings a lot of excitement.
Yeah, absolutely it does. So it's Bob Light that starts on pole position. There he is in his number 77 Ferrari GT3.
Don't look now, but Brandon Combs 1/10 off of Bob Light. Even a half a tenth, if we're being honest. He's in the ballpark.
Could make this a show. Someone else we got to watch out for. Last time I called the GT3s, it was at Willow Springs. The winner was G.J. Boydell. He's had a fun night tonight. 4th in both dirt races. And I talked with him between races. I got to see what he said. I told him, awesome job. You had 2 fourths. Now go win one, won't ya? And he said, Bob Light is there. No chance. But, you never know in this, right? You never know.
Hey, Bob. It's few and far between, but I've been in a race where Bob Light spun out. He's human. He's just like us. If Brandon can put the pressure on him, who knows what can happen tonight.
Heck, I've even been in a race where I nearly beat Bob Light. And that was, I think it was the Xfinity Series, or it was the Oval races on week 13 at Charlotte. So.
Yeah, that's something to write home about. That guy, man, he knows how to wheel it with the best of them.
Absolutely. So you see the starting lineup up there, or hold on a second. Oh, nope, these are the final seconds of qualifying, just winding down. Some drivers going on the track one final time to just get a good warm-up set up. That's Preston Cranmer in car number 07.
Yeah, definitely won't make it back around to the line for this lap to count, but just probably trying to go out there and get a feel.
Just trying to get turn 1 set up for his braking zone. Alrighty, I think we are ready for the feature now. So once the field lines up here, a reminder of how the starting lineup looks tonight. If we can get a nice view of it here, there we go. And again, your front row, it is Bob Light on the pole position, and he is next to Brandon Combs, G.J. Boydell, and Jeff Barker make up row number 2. Bob DeGood and Jeremy Tate, row number 3. Preston Cranmer, Harvey rounds out the field as he starts from the 7th spot. trying to see where the field is lined up here. Let me see if I can pull up a track map. And I won't be able to use the track map.
I believe looking at this, I think they're on the straightaway right after turn 12.
I believe so too. But like, don't quote me on that as always.
Yeah, I think we're right. We're right there.
Yeah, because this has been, because we have been shortening pace laps up a lot lately, so. But it's Bob Light.
Yeah, here we go.
Yep. Pace car is in. We are ready to go. 45 minutes on the clock for this one. That's just about 26 laps here in San Marino. It's Bob Light, Brandon Combs that'll bring us to the green flag. One pit stop that will take place in this one. Looking. Green flag is out. The lights are on. As the field is 2 by 2. It's a long drive until they get to Variante Tamburello, the first of many chicanes here. Bob Light with the advantage. Brandon Combs second. G.J. Boydell third. That's followed by Bob DeGood, then Jeff Barker, Preston Cranmer.
Oh, Brandon went around.
Jeremy Tate, and Brandon Combs is around. Probably the best contender for Bob Light to win. Here's a brief look at it. Just lost it. Cold tires were probably the big factor of it all here.
Yeah, it's a case of, you see Bob put in an even faster time there after we were talking. He was 0.8 up on him in qualifying. So when you see that, I mean, you got to try to get corner exit and get that draft every chance you can. And he's just trying to push it too hard too early.
Field makes their way past the left-hander. That's Piratella. All the drivers just staying patient here for right now at the moment. Trying to use every part of the curbing to their advantage here. Let's show you the track rules on the screen. Turn 4 on corner exit, if you use the edge of the red-white curbing, that was off track. Same with turn number 6, turn number 7, turn 8, turn 10, turn number 12. That's why I was talking about F1 earlier, and then turn 15. Those are the go ahead,
Marty. Some people, if you watch F1, they complain a lot about the track limits. Personally, I like it. I like if you see white lines there, stay in between them. The curb's only going to get you in trouble. I like the white line.
Lap 1 up on the board, and it's led by the Ferrari of Bob Light. You see the manufacturers up there on your screen. A lot of Porsches in the field here tonight, as you look at them on the screen. Lone Ferrari, obviously, is Bob Light, and then I believe it's 2 Mercedes in Boydell, and then Combs. Preston Cranmer, he's been racing an Audi a lot this season, so he rounds out the field. But Boydell starts to get challenged by the pair of teammates in DeGood and Barker, who just plan on today working with each other to make their way up throughout the field and try and finish in a good spot at least.
Yeah, and obviously, we're not F1, no DRS here, but you get a lot of draft going down the straightaway. So this is one of the few GT3 tracks where, having a teammate, swapping positions on the straightaways, that it can help you here. It's nice to have a buddy to help pull you around the track.
Absolutely. F1 uses only 1 DRS zone, I believe, at Imola. Here's a run for to go to the inside, but Boydell with their apex shuts the door on the driver of the number 7, and that is going through Ake Minerali. But as I was saying, 1 DRS zone, that's that long front straight past Variante Bassa. And, but this is a track that really, if you can get a really nice slipstream, you could possibly try and outbrake a driver going into the corner, but you got to be careful of all the speed you take going into a corner. Boydell's starting to blink just a little bit. Cranmer is actually closed up on the 513 of Barker for fourth.
Yeah, you know, with these long straightaways and the drafting ability, we're almost getting a 5-car race for second, which is kind of unbelievable.
D Good with the big slipstream up on the 014 of Boydell. Here comes the run by D Good underneath. Can he pull up to that quarter panel? No. The Cheetos ride shuts the door on him. Going into turn number 2, Variante Tamburello. 2, 3, and then turn number 4. And Boydell hangs on to that second position. Phenomenal defense by the Mercedes. He knows how to race road courses.
Yeah, you know, it looked like Bob did a good job of pressuring him, and made Greg get on the rumble strips there going in. But he did a good job of keeping it under control, and Bob actually caught the strips there himself in the middle of the chicane, and Greg pulled away.
Now, I want to see what Barker does here in this race against, as he pulls up to Bob DeGood. Does he race him early, or does he just stay tucked behind him?
I mean, you want to stay tucked behind, but, you know, while you got good tires, who doesn't want to use them while you got them, you know? There is such thing as an aero push when you're behind these guys, so, you know, you're going to tighten up a little bit if you're, you know, getting the air taken off you there and going into the corners. So you don't want to burn your tires up too bad. You want to be that guy out front.
Absolutely. Bob Light, though, with a huge advantage. He was 4 seconds faster than G.J. Boydell last time by. Bob Light's playground is the road races, and we are just living in them.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's on a playground on this planet, Marty. That he's unreal in these GT3 cars.
Bob, take it easy. I mean, make them race or something like that.
Yeah, maybe next race we only allow him to have 5 gallons of gas at a time.
That'd be fun to watch, I will admit. Next week on Monday Night Madness, you see on the bottom of your screen, but next week the series heads to Volusia and Knockhill for the penultimate races of the sprint car and GT3 parts of the season. Start time 8 o'clock on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Tate looked for a run on Preston Cranmer for the 5th spot. Now he looks left, and that's in the Tulsa corner. That long left-hander with a preferred advantage in turn 8. This quick right-hander goes to Cranmer. Now who outbreaks entering Piratella, the left-hander? Cranmer still has it. Tate with a preferred line, though, on the apex. Cranmer goes off just barely. He hangs on for 5th. That was some good defense there, Zach, by the Ayla Outlaw.
Yeah, it was, but you almost got to wonder, is the defense worth possibly losing the draft? Maybe, you know, if he wants to go that bad, just fall in line, let him go, because I don't think you want to hinder your chance at, you know, you're looking at second place, only a second up the road, so you want to make sure you're there at the end.
He's still, though, 0.4 of a second behind Barker, so he would be able to get a slipstream if he's able to keep that gap out of Rivasa.
Yeah, no, for sure. But you're putting a lot of trust on that guy behind you, you know, hoping he doesn't outbreak himself and put you, you know, over the curb there in the middle of the corner on the apex.
Oh, man, but Cranmer had a phenomenal exit out of turn 18.
Did.
Look at that. Right up to Jeff Barker. Gap is at a car length and a half. And Barker doesn't even have the slipstream anymore on DeGood.
Yeah, no, he's at that point where he ain't getting much help. But then as we say that, Barker nails corner entry there and makes up 0.3 of a second, and he's right back on him.
I believe that's what Barker, in my opinion, is really as good at the corners and Preston. The straightaway speed he has the advantage of. Believe these are fixed setups on the GT3s, correct?
Yeah, yes, they are.
Okay. And I don't
Because I think if they could
anything.
tinker with gears too much, they might be able to extend fuel, so I think they try to lock that down to make them fit.
Oh, Cranmer dirt tracks it. That is in the left-hander of, I believe I think that was turn 10. But that allows Jeremy Tate to take away the 6th spot, his teammate.
Yeah, it looked like when he got on the brakes there under braking, he just put the right tires in the grass, and that was a hell of a save by Preston.
That was actually the left-hander in turn 9, Piratella. So, probably just hit the brakes and then was trying to steer left at the exact same time. There's Bob Light, 17-second lead, 3,500 feet advantage on G.J. Boydell. Can tell you as well that Brandon Combs is out of the race. He has disconnected from tonight. Look at this run. Tate tried to get the run on Barker, but Barker had the slipstream on to good to be able to clear, entering Variante Tamburello. Won't really be able to do too much here entering this Villeneuve chicane, Zach.
No, not too many places to pass here unless you want to get super aggressive under braking, which I'm sure we'll see later with all these guys battling for second. But I mean, you know, really only 2 or 3 places really to pass here. You know, you can get somebody coming up the hill here, try to get a run on the inside or at the end of the long straightaway. But I mean, you just gotta kind of wait and hope the guy in front of you messes up.
Absolutely. Let's step aside and go to a break, but we'll keep the action with you going side by side. Bob Light leads G.J. Boydell, Bob DeGood, and Jeff Barker. Stay with us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
Welcome back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we are just over 16 minutes in to this 45-minute edition here at Imola. Murray Scala alongside Zach Chapman. Apologies as well if I've been yawning or fatigued a lot here. Still going through the jet lag here after this past weekend, but hey, we're trying to survive. Bob Light still leading this one with G.J. Boydell in second. Had something interesting with Jeremy Tate and Preston Cranmer. I'm going to try and rewind this here. Zach, do you know what lap it was?
Let me see here. I want to say lap 7, but let me check.
We missed it on our screen, so. I think we may know where it is. I think. Oh, we got it right here. This is in a turn number 2, that first chicane. Preston lost it all by himself and clips the tire barriers. You see some front end damage on the Audi. So while we're at it, Bob Light still continuing to lead. Let's sneak you on board here for a lap with Bob. Got the telemetry. Nope, actually we don't have the telemetry. You can see the gear on your screen and show you what he's doing here. Last lap time of 1:44.3. But just look at the way he's steering here, Zach. It's just so smooth. Nothing really too bumpy or anything that's making the force feedback mess up.
No, it's unbelievable. No wasted movements at all, and that's where you see him getting him speed. He's not fighting the car coming off the corner, counter steering. He's just rolling back into the throttle, and it's smooth as can be. I imagine this is what it looks like if you're riding along with Max Verstappen or somebody like that in one of these cars. I mean, he knows how to turn it on.
I remember as well, Corey Shartzer, who has raced in Coast to Coast in the past. Him and I have an F1 co-op league together on the new F1 game. And we raced at Imola, and it was in the wet. He wrecked out of the race, and it actually led to a red flag. And this was when the AI was going wild and bonkers. And I actually ended up with a second place finish.
Yeah, I think they increased the amount of people in those co-op seasons, didn't they? Can't you have more than just 2 now in the online leagues in F1?
Hey.
I mean, you may have to get me in on that.
But I cannot remember off the top of my head. Again, for those wondering as well why we don't have our regular leaderboard up, we've been working. We've had some technical difficulties all night. Our SDK gaming is currently down and won't be resolved until the next couple of hours. And so we don't have any data at the moment except for what you see on the screen. And for our lap time and who's ahead or behind, we can't tell you anything about like pit stops or anything like that, unfortunately. So yeah, this is what we're going through at the moment. Let's go to some good battle. Let's go to, I think we had a change for third a little bit ago, and that was Jeff Barker in the third spot. Was it Bob DeGood in third earlier?
Yeah, I believe he got him, I think, what is that? Turn 13 and 14, the last chicane. He had got him going up the hill. Before that, he had made a nice move there.
Let's
coming
see
out
if
of the
we can
double
find
right-hander.
that. Let's see if we can find the lap. I think it may have been when he ran his best lap of the day at a 1:46.092. Let's take a look here. It's going to be right here. So he's dealing with Jeremy Tate first off. And so we actually had missed this race that broke out. So, okay, here's how it happened here. Watch DeGood in the 7. He goes wide, and I think that is in Aki Minerali. Barker just uses it to his advantage. Shallow entry, but smooth through the Alta chicane. Take away the third position. That happened on lap number 6, so that was a little while ago. But still Bob Light out in front with a 32-second advantage on G.J. Boydell. And Zach, we actually have pit stops coming up in just a little bit. Drivers just with the opportunity
Greg's pitting right now.
Yep, Boydell comes in. Drivers only take fuel here in this one. However, though, we did have at Willow Springs a couple weeks ago, I think it was Combs, somebody took tires by mistake, and it almost paid off.
Yeah, now if you're Bob Light, are you Max Verstappen over the radio and you're yelling at your crew chief, I'm taking tires, I want the fast lap here at the end? Because, I mean, he's got plenty of room to do it. If I was him, I wouldn't even think about gas only.
Same. Not really any big battles on the track at the moment.
Because, just to put into perspective for everybody, somebody like Jeff Barker, he's good in these. He knows how to drive. He just ran a 1:47.4.
Yes.
Bob Light is in first place, running a 1:44.6, 3.1 seconds faster.
It's just wild. I think we need to do an engine teardown on the 77 after this race.
Yeah.
That's something Dean would say. By the way, that reminds me, Super Dirt Car Series race wrapped up in Brewerton. phenomenal finish. I actually watched that before the GT3 race, and Matt Williamson. I hate to spoil it, but I gotta say, Matt Williamson defeated Matt Shepard with a pass with 2 laps to go, and it was a great race. So we haven't really talked a lot about Boydell, but he has had a really good race so far in that second spot, Zach.
Yeah, no, he really has, and I'm just literally was rewinding. I went back and looked at the lap that he, made his pit stop on to see if maybe he got in the wall or something, wondering why he pit that early. And nah, he just felt like that was the time to go because the lap he pit, it was smooth. You didn't go off track or nothing. He just thought that was the time to go. So we'll see if it pays off.
Hey, while we are at it as well, while we've got not really a lot to talk about, we want to say hello to our friends at Osh Weekend Speedway, the official sponsor of Monday Night Madness. This is a huge week for them because you've got the NASCAR Penny Series in town. The second time ever the Penny Series has run on the dirt. It was a phenomenal race last year. Can't remember who won it last year. Roger would know the answer a lot better than I would. They also got a big sprint car race happening. A lot of drivers racing in that, like Dylan Westbrook, Jessica Friesen, Paulie Colagiovanni. It's a big week for the folks at Osh Weekend Speedway, and that is live on G-Force TV, I believe, tonight. Tomorrow, I think it's live on Flow Racing, but I can't remember. Could be
Yeah, Connor, he can't stop talking about it. That must be a big show for the boys up there in Canada. He's been talking about it all week in our Gambler chat. So that's definitely, after you're done watching us, click that over and hit the rewind and watch that tonight. It's going to be a good show.
His dad's been having a lot of fun calling races tonight, that's for sure. So, Bob DeGood now in the pits, so he'll give up his third position to bring his Porsche in for a top off on fuel. Next week, let me see if we have our standings updated on the dirt side of things. They've been doing really good at updating them for us. And yes, they have 2 weeks to go. Blake Chapman's still with the nod. I can't give you the exact deficit in points with the drops, but it has to be really tight. It has to be very tight. So there goes DeGood out of the pits. Uh-oh. Did I hit the wrong button? No, I did not. So this moves Jeff Barker in the second spot. And we are just waiting on the top 3 on the racetrack to pit. Boydell is pitted. DeGood has pitted. And we actually only have 5 drivers on the racetrack at the moment. Jeremy Tate actually has disconnected from the race. Bob Light is still setting fast laps. I believe his last lap here, Zach. I just want to make sure I have this right. 143.910.
Oh, you got it right. I don't understand how they do it, but I mean, these good guys, as the fuel load burns off, I mean, Bob will run those enduro races all the time. He knows how to make a set of tires last, and as that fuel load burns off, he just gets faster and faster. We're going to see him beat that qualifying time by the end of this race.
I mean, it's not only that, he is really good at managing his tires on the road, but also, as you're burning off fuel, of course, the car gets lighter because you're giving up fuel out of your car and it's vaporizing into the air. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's why you see the F1 guys, they load up for just that one fast lap. I mean, unless they feel like they have to get heat in the tires, and then maybe they'll do 2 shots at it. But most of the guys are going, it's all about cutting weight.
And that's why you see, say a team really needs the fastest lap for a bonus point. Sometimes you see somebody come in for fresh softs with very little fuel left, and they'll try and go for the fastest lap of the race. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Here comes Bob. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he kept the lead.
Yeah, he's got a 53-second lead
Yeah, he
last
was
time
20
around.
He was 25 seconds away from catching Jeff Barker. Fun fact.
And I noticed Barker pit, and he came out right behind Boydell now, so that we've got a battle for second.
Actually, we'll focus on that. Yeah, the gap is 0.7 of a second, and the fresher tires belong to Jeff Barker. That could be big.
Yeah, I think he's just going to, bide his time here, just hang out for a little bit and try to see where he's faster than Greg and then try to go by him here. But, back to that, not to hop around here, but you were talking about, that the point standings over there. So I went and did a little bit of math, and Blake's crappiest race was 49 points. So that's going to drop him down to 568. He's going to have a 15-point lead on Patrick.
That win definitely helped out. Now, where's Tyler Wilson with the drops? I would love to know that. And again, all this is unofficial.
So Tyler Wilson and Patrick, they're going to stay where they're at because they both missed a race. So they're already at 8 races. They're where they're at.
They have 2 drops still, though. So you would have to just...
Oh, we're doing 2. Okay. Then, yeah, I'll have to figure that out.
So, but, I mean, I feel like if Wilson stayed in that second position, I feel like right now it would be a 3-man race for the championship with 2 races to go. You're watching that race for second last time by. It was 0.7 of a second. The gap is down to 0.4 of a second. And Barker is on striking distance on Boydell as the field makes their way through the long left-hander in Tulsa. I would watch this front straight very closely here, Zach.
Yeah, he's gonna maybe, Jeff might try to pull the move he pulled on his teammate here if he can get a good run up the hill.
I can tell you as well, we have 4 drivers now left on track. Preston Cranmer has disconnected from the activities. So he will take the money and run, take his points and run.
So if we're doing 2 drop weeks, Marty, it's a 3-point lead that Blake has on Patrick.
Wow. 3 points. And for Tyler Wilson, how many is he back?
Let me see here. Gonna be 27.
So
that
he's still in it.
Yeah, but he's gonna be kicking himself for that last lap move.
Yeah, so he finished tonight. I can't remember where he finished tonight.
He ended up being the last car on the lead lap. I believe it was 9th.
Okay, so I don't believe that's his worst finish of the year.
No, definitely not.
Okay. So we'll just have to see what happens then. Now, if he were to finish in second and would have the hard charger, what would the gap be? Do you think?
Well, there's a lot of math there because he would have got a hard charger. That's 5 points. He lost 2 points for the incident, so you got to add 2 and then add 5 for no incidents. That right there, that's 12 points. And then going from 9th to 2nd, I don't know how many points that is, but I mean, that puts him right there.
He could have been in it, yeah. I think he could have maybe even moved up to 2nd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would have been close. It would have been within 5 or 6 points for
That's
sure.
Crazy. All right, so we'll keep this battle for a second on your screen, but we're going to step aside and go side by side. We'll take you to the finish when we come back.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
Final few minutes of this one here at Imola here. Marty Sakala alongside Zach Chapman. A 51-second advantage here for Bob Light. As we've got 6.5 minutes remaining here. Average of 144, so we should have just about 3 or 4 laps to go, I would say the least. You see on the left-hand side of the ticker, that's the estimated number of laps that will be complete, so should be about 26 laps here before we reach the end of this one. But Zach, we've been watching the race for second closely. G.J. Boydell versus Jeff Barker for second.
Yeah, it seemed like Jeff maybe had something for him, came out, at his pit stop right behind Greg, but maybe was just a little bit too cautious and should have tried to go hard when he was up behind him, but we'll see if he can string a couple good corners here together and make a run here with a couple to go.
Absolutely. Barker's been running well in third spot. Gotta give credit for both Boydell here and Barker here tonight. Looking at Boydell first off, 2 fourths and a second tonight. This is a successful night for him for sure.
Yeah, and you said it before the broadcast. Told him to go win one here, and he said it was going to be tough with Bob here. And, Bob, we've been saying it all night. He's one of the best guys I've ever seen in these GT3s, and it says a lot about Greg and Jeff here. keep battling hard and keeping your head down when you got a guy like that who you're just giving it your all and you got nothing for. It's still, you got to run smooth and can't make any mistakes, and they've both done that here tonight.
And then you've got Jeff Barker as well. 2/3 tonight. Oh, that's pretty cool. He'll take that easily for sure.
Yeah, I think if, he woke up to a text this morning saying, hey, from you, hey, I'm going to interview you twice, I think he would have been pretty happy.
Yeah, I don't think he expected that one bit. But, when you keep your nose clean and stay away from all the wrecks that broke out in the Renegades race, you'll stay on the lead lap and have a good finish like he did tonight.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Not only that, but put the time in. This guy, he talked about him and Bob DeGood, how much time they put in practicing, and just, they're on every afternoon racing. They're racing every chance they get, and that carries over. That translates. It's all about seat time. Jeff, he's definitely not within drafting here, but he is reeling in Greg ever so slowly.
Yes, 1.9 seconds is the gap behind GJ. But as the laps wind down here this evening, for GT3 action, we always know that Bob Light is a butt kicker with GT3s. It doesn't matter what car it is. This win will be his third of the season, tying him with Dan McLaren for the most. Him and Dan, if they're in a race, those are the two to watch out for, and they will battle for the win. Fourth start of the year for Bob. He's had a busy Monday nights and stuff like that. When he has raced with us in the past, he's had some issues as well when it comes to his internet and his computers. I think it was Mosport where he lagged out. So, but this is 2 laps to go.
And, definitely not Bob Light territory, but that last lap, Barker ran his fastest lap of the race, so he's given it all he can to try to get up there and get second.
1:45.937 last time by for Jeff. And we'll bring up that gap once again. There you see it, 1.9 seconds. Now, I think at this point, if you're Barker, you just have to hope Boydell makes a mistake. Boydell's not even looking at that rear view mirror. He's just focused on hitting his marks.
No, yeah, he can't be. Head down, just keep doing what you're doing. And second place is his, I believe, like you said, unless, he gets a little mistake here, because you're not going to make up a second and a half here, 2 laps without the guy in front of you messing up a little bit.
I learned something interesting. When you have all these GT3s around this track, like if they're all around one specific part, like how they were in that train to begin the race, if you focus on one car, that's the only car you'll be able to see its side view mirrors. All the other cars, their side view mirrors are black. I know
I never noticed that until you just said that.
I know some of you are probably thinking, who cares? Well, I mean, nothing really to talk about in this race tonight with what's been going on, except for this domination Bob Light's put up. Anyway, white flag coming out this time by for the driver of the number 77. And this will be the final lap tonight. Something else you got to think of here as well here in this race for second, the gap without the drops between Boydell and Barker was just about 50 points. And Boydell finishing second in this, that will definitely close in the gap. And Boydell actually only has 1 drop remaining.
Yeah, Boydell, too, this whole race, 0x. Barker went off the track 1 time, so, I mean, Boydell's going to be getting a little more bonus points there if he keeps it up.
Absolutely, that's a great point.
It's another thing, too, Bob Light, another 0x. I don't understand how you go that fast and don't go over the white line. Unbelievable.
Smooth drive for Bob Light. Final trip around. I believe this is sector number 3 that he is in. One final chicane, and then the 2 left-handers turns 18 and 19, and that will do it for him. Final 3 corners for the driver of the Coast to Coast Racing League, number 77. What a race, what a drive, and what a victory. He won last week at the Hockenheim Ring, and he's going to do it again at Imola. Checkers are waving. Bob Light, the winner tonight in the GT3s.
What a drive by Bob. Just what can you say? It's almost jaw-dropping.
Absolutely. What a race he put on here this evening. Unless, do we have 2 minutes left? Nope, that is it. It's just 2 minutes to complete this race here. 1 second advantage for GJ Boydell over Jeff Barker. Wait for that to finish before we talk to your top 3.
Yeah, and Barker's right there. He's going to be kicking himself because 2 laps ago he was about a second off his pace.
1 more lap,
And,
Barker probably gets him.
Yeah.
But Boydell's second, Barker finishes 3rd. They were both actually in the Can-Am Racing Team Malcolm Mills mill writing chat. And let's begin with your winner tonight instead, and Bob Light. Let's begin and talk with Bob. Bob, what a drive. Walk us through it.
Yeah, thanks, Marty. Yeah, just don't know what happened to Brandon there at the start. That was kind of a bummer. I was hoping we could have a battle.
Absolutely. How good was this this machine? 0x tonight. You kept it between the white lines.
Yeah, that's what it's all about in this league. You get too many points taken off for getting those X's.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Yeah, Aspire Sim Racing, all my teammates, and then all of our great sponsors, Slide Job Racing Network, RS1 Trackside, Maconi Setup Shop, Epsilon Sprint Wraps, and as always, the league, and you guys for doing the broadcast. It makes it a lot of fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to our second place finisher here. Oh, I actually brought the wrong guy.
I don't see him in there yet. Might have to pull Jeff up.
Yeah, we don't have GJ in yet, so let's bring up Mr. Barker here. Jeff, another 3rd place run. What more did you need, though, for GJ in the final few laps as you were closing in late in the going?
I needed him to make a mistake. That didn't happen.
Well, what do you take away, though, from this race, the positives as a whole?
Oh, well, we didn't wreck. I wish we had more cars, but it was a good race there with Boydell and the Good and Preston there for a little bit.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Usual, you guys for broadcasting this, Coast to Coast Racing League, Malcolm Mills Mill Writing. That's about it.
Alrighty, we'll let you go. Great job tonight.
All right, thanks.
Jeff Barker finishing in 3rd. Still waiting on GJ Boydell. I may have to call him on Facebook and just tell him to get in here. He's making us wait. Yeah, look at this. This is going to be pretty cool. Bob DeGood coming in. Well, what's going to be a 2, 3, 4, and then Bob Light backed out. So, alrighty. Just need GJ to come in here. And then we can call it a night here. Again, thank you all so much for coming on out this evening. So glad you all could join us here. All right, we've got GJ. Let's bring him on in. GJ, a great second place run. Positives you take away from tonight and holding off Barker.
I was just being smooth out there. Bob was running away with it earlier, so stay smooth, stay on track, don't get any incident points, and yeah, it was a good fun night.
Closing in on the points lead, obviously, on Jeff. I know there's 2 races left to go. I know it's not a big car count, which is what's leading to the points lead being this big here with 2 races left. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel confident. I'm gonna race the same way I have all season, and nothing's gonna change that way. It's gonna be smooth and don't get incident points. And yeah, it's gonna come down to the wire with Jeff and I.
A 4th in the Renegades, a 2nd here tonight. That's got to feel good.
Yep, and a 4th in Rebels. Yeah, it was a great night. We were just had it going on. So yeah.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Joe Canellis and We Let the Dogs Out for You and Abandoned Cat Rescue here in Hamilton.
Awesome, man. Well, we'll let you go. Congratulations, a great runner-up finish for you.
Thanks, Marty, and thanks, Zach, and thanks for the job you guys do. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely, definitely appreciate it. So that is GJ.
Congrats, Greg.
Thanks, Zach.
That's GJ Boydell finishing 2nd. That's gonna do it here for us tonight. As a whole this evening, here, Zach. Final thoughts.
Hey, all in all, like Jeff said, it'd be nice to get the car count up a little bit in this race, but it was a decent race in there. For second, Bob was in his own category there, but boy, we were blown away with some great racing at Williams Grove, and I don't know if I've ever said that before. So hats off to everyone for good hard racing at Williams Grove, because normally it's a caution fest, but it was great races tonight.
Absolutely awesome racing tonight on the dirt side. And we had some interesting battles here on the road racing at Imola. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League, Extreme eSpeed TV, all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig and Preston Kramer are all the fine group of admins. On behalf of my broadcast partners this evening, Brandon Dittmer and Zach Chapman, I'm Marty Sakala. Congratulations to all your winners this evening. Brandon Dittmer in the Rebels, Blake Chapman in the Renegades, and Bob Light in GT3. So long.